Hey everyone, welcome back to another gameplay commentary video. This one's going to be a little bit different because instead of a rank game, this is going to be a scrim match that we had. So as you guys can see, we're against some Eternity players, some one above all players. So it's going to be a really, really good game. I'm not a part of any team right now, but I was asked to sub in for a missing support from this team. This is a friend's team. But yeah, I was asked to sub in, and they're competing in the tournament as well. So I was like, all right, yeah, let me go ahead and sub in. And I thought that this was just going to be a really good game to go over. This is going to be a little bit different from the normal format I do. So normally I just do like a voiceover over the gameplay. And in this one, I think, besides the webcam, of course, I think what I'll be doing is pausing at some points just to kind of go over my thoughts and describe the play a little bit more, like go a little bit more in depth than I normally do. And so if you guys like this kind of gameplay commentary more, or if you like this style more than my normal style, just let me know in the comments, and I'm happy to keep doing a style very similar to this. So in comp, actually, when you're doing picks and bans, there's a save, which I didn't know. So as you guys can see, there's like 3 circles on each side, and this is actually like a save. So it's like you can save a character from getting banned onto the next ban section. And so we banned Loki out because these guys have a nasty Loki, and Loki is really, really tough to go against right now. Typically, we ban Adam, and they actually ended up saving Adam for that reason, I think. Groot's also another super good pick, and he's also very good on this map in particular, so I believe that's why they banned Groot. Also, Ferris is just king on Groot, so, you know, it's a win-win for them. And then we ended up saving Magneto because Zerillium loves Magneto. He's a really good Magneto, and Mag is also one of the best tanks right now. I recently did a tier list with Alfie, who's on LG, and we pretty much came to the conclusion that Groot and Magneto are some of the best tanks right now. So that's why we banned them. Speaking of some of the best, Star-Lord's going to be one of the best DPS right now. I forgot exactly why we ended up banning Star-Lord here, but I feel like, oh, it's because they saved Adam, that's why. For some reason, I thought Adam was banned. Yeah. So, like, Star-Lord's banned here because they saved Adam, and so that obviously means that if they're saving Adam, then they want to play Adam, and they want to go for the trio comp, which is Star-Lord, Adam, and Mantis. So that trio res comp. So that's why we end up banning him. Unless they were in our heads messing with us, then who knows what they wanted to do. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this game. Let me go ahead and like skip forward just a little bit. Okay, cool. So we're back. Here we start attack, and pretty much whenever you attack on this point, in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to try to get height. And so that's what our sort of like game plan was a little bit towards the beginning. It's like send 1 or 2 people height. Of course, you still want to push the cart. You can see that the defensive team here is playing height really, really well. My job as Invisible Woman is to try to pull anybody off the ledge. That's what I want to do. And they actually end up playing this really, really well because not only are they able to control and maintain height, but then their Strange is playing like really, really aggressive here. And I believe their thing ends up coming in too and playing aggressive to kind of stop cart from moving. So it's like we actually need some DPS to also hop on cart. So it's my job here to obviously heal the tank on cart and also heal the people above. But they honestly were just playing a really, really good defense here. And like I said, my job is to pull people off the ledges, but I also want to try to push the tanks off the cart. So you saw me try to do that with Strange earlier, just to keep the cart moving, right? Unless like I want to set up a kill, then I can pull them in. So that's pretty much what I'm looking to do here in like all these fights, especially at this beginning play.
Dash, I need
Well, thanks, Josh. I'm gonna go to
What's up? Oh yeah, my bad. Here you go. My shield's about to break. Protecting it. Here it looks like we're just kind of struggling to push things along. We do have my ult, and so I calm like, okay, I have my ult pretty fast, so I'm gonna ult forward. This I think is a really good ult. Typically you don't want to just like ult out of the blue like this, but because we weren't able to push it up, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and let my ult rip. And I said this in some other videos, but usually if you guys can't get like a card around the corner or something like that, or you're just having a really, really hard time doing it, then especially as Invisible Woman, you want to let that ult rip because they're going to want to back out of that ult, and then you're going to want to get, you know, you're going to be able to push the card essentially. Also, Zerillium made an insanely good play there. He had a fantastic Magneto ult, and that pretty much won us this initial push. I think my ult was really good at sort of like stabilizing the push a little bit, or like kind of like allowing us to move through that edge, and then Zerillium's ult just really allowed us to burst through it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense, but you know what I mean. You guys saw what happened, so there we go. So here we're pushing it. I want to make sure we have typically at least 2 on cart at all times, me and the other healer, just to make sure we get that push efficiency. You know, we're getting the cart to be faster. I believe it is 3 that you can have max on cart. Somebody in the comments on one of my videos said that, so it's not 4, it's 3. But here they end up transforming the Hulk, and they're running at us, so we're just kind of trying to create a little bit of space and back up here. What I mean is space for ourselves, of course. And just try to restabilize. One of the big things about while everybody being on the same page is that if you know 1 or 2 people die, you kind of like want to back up and wait for them to respawn, right? You don't want to keep pushing unless you're, you know, you have a chance of winning the fight off one person dying, that kind of thing. So here we're just, you know, healing everybody, trying to build up our ults, and then we build up our ult here. And then I think I call out like let's push top right, or maybe somebody else called that out, but regardless, somebody called it out, and I was like, yeah, this is a really good idea. So we all kind of come up here to push top right, and this makes sense, right? Because the card's already pushed far, and we want to get height to go up. Here, I was kind of ignoring Adam. Obviously, I call out Adam's behind us. I'm ignoring him because we want to push forward, and Adam just wants to distract us. And so that was really, really good. And we kind of knew Strange was going to ult, so I played around my shield for that. I didn't realize, but Adam actually got a res off there. I didn't realize that till just now. I was like, wait, how is Strange back up? That makes perfect sense that Strange is back up because Adam got a res right there. So it's perfect. We're just kind of like spacing out in the fight a little bit, trying to heal everybody that we can. Our team's honestly winning the fight really, really well. And want to make sure we don't troll die here. I think I actually was kind of scared I was going to die there, but I didn't, thankfully. And then we're all calming at him in the air. We know he doesn't have ult. Or they know he doesn't have ult. I'm oblivious right now. I didn't realize Adam actually got an iframe like for like a second, half a second when he res. That was pretty cool. Luna ends up matching. I don't think we have to Luna ult there, to be honest with you. Actually, we definitely don't have to Luna ult there, but you know, it's fine with whatever. We end up getting the point. And like now would have been a really good Luna ult, right? Because we weren't in trouble at all. But we end up matching it, which is good. And then honestly, my dive is just doing fantastic work right now. I mean, it's kind of hard to see from my POV, but just looking at the kill feed, they just killed everybody, which is fantastic. So we end up getting this first point. And really, this first point was got off the back of Zerilium's ult and a little bit of my ult, right? Like maybe it was like 50, like 0.5 my ult, and then like, or 50% my ult, then like 100% Zerilium's ult. So 150% total. I don't know. I'm just making numbers up. You know what I mean. So Zerilium had a really good ult to be able to push that, which is huge. And yeah, and here what we're doing is we're creating a little bit of space. We're taking height a little bit because we don't want defense to play height. This height ends up breaking once you... Actually, I'm not exactly 100% sure how the height breaks. Either once you push cart past a certain point and people hit it, or I don't know if they can break it before that point. If anybody in the comments knows, let me know. Because I'm actually so curious. I've heard like either or. In any case, though, we're spacing out a little bit here. Unfortunately... Actually, fortunately for Caddy, that was massive, able to kill our Hela, and we have to back up now. Unfortunately for us, Hela just ended up getting one bursted by Adam. And then I kind of just ended up getting myself stuck there, which was unfortunate. So, but so far, like, this game's pretty good on us. Like, we're doing everything right, in my opinion. We've had some good ults. That's our only death of the game, which is huge, especially with how troublesome, like, that initial push was. And we've been spacing out pretty well and healing everybody pretty well, so it's really good. Now we have our ult too, so we're just going to go ahead and chill a little bit. Usually, you know, Luna and I are calming who's going to ult first. It really just kind of depends, like, who you think wants to ult first. But we end up getting thing ulted, and we end up dying. I think that was a bit of a mistake for my Strange there, because we were kind of telling him, like, you know, like, kind of push back a little bit. And this is one of the things I talked about with Sue, is that her autos do have a very limited range, and so you oftentimes have to like put yourself out of position. Now she does have tools to be able to deal with that, but you do have to put yourself out of position sometimes to heal people, and that was like one of those instances. Really good comms by two to ask for heals and stuff like that there. And then we're just killing Strange here. I think they're just overextending a little bit. Unfortunately, Namor ends up dying, and he didn't have to die. That was kind of on us to not heal him. But we do get 2 picks, and so, especially in this game, oh, I think this is troll by them. Okay, so this is actually a pretty, I think, decent play by me. I'm going to pause it here. So as soon as I hear Born again right here, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. And I had like really aggressive comms here. I was like, yo, like fight this, get on this right now and jump in. And I ended up ulting. So remember, Sue's ult is an invisibility field. So everybody outside can't really see what's going on inside. And on top of that too, it's slowing everybody by like 50% inside. So like they have this massive slow debuff. And of course you guys pretty much have like infinite health inside Sue ult, right? Because you're healing like crazy. So I'm just creating this like arena, this area that we can just hard fight into. Their Mantis ends up ulting, so it was kind of like a trade. Now, if their Mantis didn't have ult, we could probably just frag everybody right then and there. But because Mantis has ult, we end up kind of trading ults, which I think is completely fine, especially because they also just Adam ulted too. But that was kind of the whole goal of that, was to just like, okay, if 2-3 people get rezzed here, we just kill everybody, right? Because I'm ulting in. We're able to save Ferris there, and then Luna ult's able to catch him too, which is huge. And now they don't have any support ults, right? So now we have Luna ult, they have no support ults, and this is OT. So we got to make sure that we're staying on cart. I always try to calm and make sure everybody knows, like, hey, like, stay on cart, stay on cart. I was actually like yelling here, like, I need help on cards is a thing, just beating my ass, you know? Like, I need help. And then it's really easy for people to LOS and get tunnel vision in this game. And I think as a healer, it's really your job to kind of see the whole battlefield, right? Because you're sort of in the back healing everybody. And, you know, in certain cases, you have to like turn left, turn right, like look in all directions to heal everybody. But for the most part, you can kind of see everything that's going on. So it's your job to make those comms, right? Because you have all that information that they necessarily don't have, right? Like my Magneto, my Strange aren't going to know what's happening behind them because they're up front in the front lines focusing on what's going on in front of them. Whereas I can see everything, so I know what's going on, so I need to make those comms to my allies. That's one really, really big thing I think, you know, you need to learn especially as a healer trying to level up your game.
Oh, thanks.
That's Bond.
I can't see Jumper yet. Here, Monster Bomber and Monster Bomber is my Luna. We're just kind of sitting back here and, you know, obviously just healing everybody. Want to make sure I'm focused healing my DPS a little bit too, just to make sure that they don't die. It's obviously a lot easier to kill them than it is my tank, so I want to make sure I'm kind of keeping my eyes on him. And they're honestly, my team's just doing a really good job right now killing everybody. This is actually huge. Like, think about this. We had this at OT like halfway through the other part. Dude, I gotta say this. Caddy was just like flanking this game. Like, I feel like the whole game he was just flanking. I was just like, what is he doing? He's like playing Adam, just flanking with Adam. It was a little annoying. Actually, it wasn't even annoying at all. It was just weird. I don't know. It was strange. But I guess he got a pick or two, but it's strange. But yeah, we're just here pushing up card. It's important to note too that we don't really have that much time to work with. We only have about a minute, or once you get it to the third point, you only have 90 seconds. So it's really good to just kind of push that card as far as possible, or as fast as possible with a couple people, because you don't really have that much time. If you have a lot of time, then you can kind of risk sending everybody up to try to kill everybody, because you're most likely winning the fights anyways, right? But here I'm just trying to be aware of everybody looking everywhere. I always try to put more of a focus on my DPS because tanks can survive longer. So just always make sure you kind of like keep your DPS in mind, because those are the guys too that are going to kind of win you the fight, right? They're going to kill everybody.
I'm gonna damage you, Kenny.
Behind.
Nice.
Behind. On cart. Really good. Another really good all plays. I really am. Oh, this was a really good play. Yeah, I mean, here, you know, I've talked about this in the past. I'm going to pause it right here. I've talked about this in the past, but like whenever you're playing Invis Woman, your E is really, really strong. So you can either like obviously disrupt plays and make plays happen. Pulling people in is one really good way to make a play happen. Like if we just go back here, right? I'm pretty sure she gets over this gate. And like I said, he's just playing flank this whole game. It was annoying a little bit. But in any case, like she pretty much gets over this gate, I'm pretty sure, if I don't pull her back in. So like you just have to know when to push and pull. Like there are a lot of times if like a Strange is just coming at you or a Groot's about to ult you, that kind of stuff. Those times you want to be able to push people. And other times too, it's like if I want to push cart forward, I want to push people. But in the case of setting up kills, like a lot of those are pull plays. So here, like, you know, obviously he's here. He's going to bird form away. Like I'm thinking immediately I'm pulling this guy the second he comes out.
Nice.
Sugo.
Okay, stagger them.
So here I have my ult too. Another thing I'm thinking about here, I don't want to spoil it. So I'll let the play happen first. But I'm kind of thinking about the thing a little bit. And so this is really good. So whenever you're playing healer as well, like I said, it's an information game, right? Like any game you play is an information game. And especially this, like knowing where everybody's at, knowing sort of where all the pieces are at, and kind of like judging when people are going to have ults up. So one way to do this is first by seeing when your tanks are going to have ults up, right? Because you can't see when the enemy's going to have ults up, but you can kind of get a sense of when they're going to by like if your tank has ult up. And the other thing too is just kind of like how the fights have been going. Like you can kind of like time ults, like, okay, everybody's getting their ult up at this time, so this guy should have ult theoretically. So here I know that like thing is probably gonna ult. So a lot of the times my comms are like, watch for this like tank ult, watch for this tank ult, and you'll see this later on in the video too. I make some really good plays, and I'll like seeing this, and I'll let you know about it. But yeah, like right here, I'm just thinking in my head, like, okay, thing's gonna ult. So like I have my thumb on the double jump on spacebar for when he's about to ult. And so we're easily able to dodge it. We push our ult up. I think that was a little too far, but it ended up being decent. Actually, yeah, it ended up being really good. And then we jump out of mag ult, so he can't hit us, which is huge.
Hello, I'm on it.
They have a hello.
Really good by my Strange to block that hello ult. And then here we just want to keep I don't want to say his name. It's so funny. We just want to keep Chinfu alive. He goes by Chinfu too. But we just want to keep Namor alive here. And I don't know if you guys saw the Shroud clip, but like Shroud played these guys I think over the weekend, and like Shroud saw his name and just started laughing. But I just want to make sure I'm keeping my DPS alive because they're the ones that are going to be killing people. And then here, I think we actually make a really good comm here. Here we tell both Ferris and Cerulean, we say, hey, play the back of the cart. I think Monster Bomber made that comment. It was a really good comm. We're like, play the back of the cart because this allows me to kind of walk back here so I'm out of line of sight from them. So they're not really looking at me or focused on me because they can't even see me. And I'm also getting a lot of healing efficiency, right? Like I'm able to double heal them. So like my autos are penetrating either mag or the Strange, and then they're able to hit the other one. So this is really, really good, and Luna's able to do a lot too. Luna gets ult up. Now I'm also playing for my ult too. So I'm playing for my ult here, and I just want to make sure I live for as long as possible. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. I almost have mine.
Mr. Beast, we can't.
But Thing ends up running at me. I double jump in. When I do this play, I know, like, man, if I don't get my ult up, I'm so dead. Like, I know I'm about to die. I'm like, I need to get my ult, like, ASAP. So, I think that was a little bit of a misplay by us, that double jump. I think we could have held that a little bit longer, especially because it was only the Thing that was on us. He gave us, like, a little bit of extra air, and I was just like, screw it, and I just, like, jumped up. But, overall, I think it was a pretty good round. Like, we salvaged it pretty well compared to how the round started. Like, they were actually playing a really, really nice and tight defense. But I think I could have played that end just a tad bit better and got my ult up. We just had to be a little bit more patient with our double jump. That's the thing with Inviswoman, right? She has like a lot of different things that she can survive with, right? Her double jump, her shield, her pushes and pulls and all that kind of stuff. Well, mostly her pushes if she's trying to live. But she has a lot of tools that she can live with. And so, like, you just have to be able to use those tools at the right time. There, I kind of like misused my double jump and I ended up dying, so. It is what it is. Who knows? Maybe even if I don't get that ult off, or even if I do get that ult off, maybe we still lose it. So, that's fine. It is what it is. But here we just kind of want to set up. I think we're just like sort of talking about like what's going on. So let's listen to this.
Does that make sense?
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can try it.
It's up to you. We're just gonna drop down soon. We're just holding for time. We're not here for like a light year. We're just dropping in a sec.
I think it only worked so well for them is because they were running triple healer, so they had a healer on Strange the whole time. Down there.
I'm gonna stand right here. I'm gonna drop back.
We had no DPS on them.
Yeah.
One thing you have to be careful about, and I mentioned this like at the beginning of the video, is just be careful standing here if you're playing tank or whatever the case into an invis woman because she is gonna pull you. So you just gotta be careful standing on these ledges. High ground's obviously really good, but if they have an invis woman, she has displacement and she can just pull you off high ground right into their team. So you just gotta watch out for that. And I think that's exactly what ended up happening to Ferris just now. But luckily, he had a mag bub and he is Strange, so he's chilling, and then he's got me to pocket him.
Yo, can we
Okay, we're backing off. We're backing off.
Yeah, he ends up getting pulled too. So we're playing pretty far up, but we're healing pretty well. Strange is actually blocking our heals, which he's doing a really good job at. I'm surprised more Stranges don't do that. Also, more Magnetos too. I see them like shield themselves and like body block the healing. But we're getting flanked by Namor right now. We actually do have really good burst damage on this character, so we actually damage him pretty hard. He gets mag bub though, and he's able to get out. But we're healing really well. Me and Luna are healing really well right now. We're able to just keep Namor alive, which is huge. And we just kind of want to like LOS their damage too, so they can't really see us. So that's why we're playing behind this ambulance here. And we're also a little bit spaced out from Monster Bomber too. So like, I think one important thing to note about this character is that she can kind of heal herself, right? Like you can heal yourself when you sit on your shield. Your shield can obviously block damage, so you can just play behind it. And of course, you can passively heal when you're in your invis state. Whereas Luna, she can heal herself when she uses like 2 of her abilities, but she's not going to have as much of like self-healing that you're going to have, you know, if you play like around the shield and all that kind of stuff correctly. So because of that, and because you're so mobile, oftentimes I like to sit even behind my other healer as this healer, because now I can, and especially because my autos penetrate as well. So now I can actually heal my other healer as well as healing everybody else. And so that's kind of like what I was doing here. I was like healing the Luna. I was like LOSing them so their DPS couldn't see me, but I'm also healing the Luna so she's healthy while she's healing our tanks, and I'm also healing our tanks when I can at the same exact time. So it's perfect. Here I have my ult though. Okay, so this is a really, really important play. They ult this corner, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to counter ult this. So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier when it's like knowing when tanks tanks in particular, well, knowing all alts, right? Like DPS tanks, whatever the case, but tanks in particular, because they're the guys typically that have to get in your face and they have like a lot of CC, right? They have stuns and stuff like that. So this is knowing and understanding the best times when tanks are going to ult. Usually, and this is very important, usually good tank players are going to want to ult you towards the end of your ult, especially Invis Woman. Why? Because Invis Woman ult is static, right? So it's not moving. So like everybody's playing in this circular area, right? But and tanks know this, and so they're kind of in their heads, they're thinking and they're counting down when is this ult gonna end. They're gonna ult you like a second before that ult ends, right? Because now they're getting maximum value because they know you're still playing in the area because the ult's still up, but they know it's about to end, so they can kill you because you're CC'd when the ult ends up ending. And so these are the kinds of comms I'm making. That's what I'm kind of making on this strange, and I'm holding my push here for that exact play to happen. I'm like, okay, I even calm out. I'm holding my push for strange because I know he's gonna want to ult us. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out.
Watch for the strange ult. I'm gonna look for a push if he does.
There's a hella behind you guys. There's a hella behind you guys.
So right there, like perfect, right? That push might have just saved the entire play. Okay, so we push him. We actually had to flick upwards, and he did a really good job, by the way. So like, Alfie was talking about this in the podcast that we did, but like when you're strange, especially into an Invis Woman, you want to make it hard for them to push you. So like you want to jump up in their face to force them to flick up because they're oftentimes going to like miss that, or it's going to be a lot harder to hit that. So right there, that's exactly what this strange did. I was able to hit it because we're the GOAT. So I know. But I was able to hit it, and their mag did end up bubbling him. It was just a little bit late. So overall, we read that play fantastically, and we were able to like pretty much get that. And then this is where we screw up. So I double jumped that Namor ult when I did not have to at all. And Mag sees that I double jumped and he knows I don't have it. So what he does is he just capitalizes off that and ends up killing me. So really good play by the Magneto, by Gozen right there to be able to kind of catch that and kill me. Bad follow-up play by me because I actually did not have to double jump off that Namor ult and I could have saved that. So it's another use case of me, or that's another case of me like using the double jump in a poor way and dying. Sometimes I'll accidentally just double jump, like if I'm like, because, you know, you just want to jump around in this game. It's just fun to jump around, like just jump around. And then sometimes you end up just double jumping by accident. So sometimes I accidentally do that. But luckily, it's on a pretty low cooldown. It's like 6 seconds, so it's not that bad. Yeah, here we're trying to be aware of everybody and, you know, looking up. Again, want to pull these guys. Anytime you see somebody on a ledge on height, right, you just want to be trying to pull them down, especially DPS players. And now we're just playing off the shield like we talked about earlier, getting all these nice AoE penetrating heals onto everybody. It's really good to note too, really good comm is to tell people that you can't see him. Might be obvious, right? But a lot of people don't do that, so I want to tell people that you can't see him. We end up pulling Hela, and then we force her bird, which is good, but our Hela ends up dying, unfortunately. But now we just want to LOS assault, so we just want to back them. Right here, there's no point in fighting. There's just no point in fighting. You just want to back up here, right there. Invis ulting, they're Hela ulting. Give them the space. If they want the space that bad, give it to them. Because now we're going to have ults, right? And as long as we're not dead, we can kind of counter this.
You guys are back.
I'm here now.
I might ult this corner here. I might strange ult too.
There's a Hela top right. Hela top right. Watch out, bummer.
So we ended up ulting this. I don't know if this was particularly the best ult. I did calm like a few seconds in advance that I was going to ult this corner. And I wanted to do this because they were gaining a lot of ground really fast, and I kind of wanted to stop them. And I know they don't have Invis Woman ult anymore, or Hela ult. So like, if I ult here, maybe they use another support ult or something like that, right? And then we still have our Luna ult, so we should win the support ult trade. So two things happening here. One, maybe this ult might not have been the best. Maybe I could have waited a little bit longer. But the other thing too is that Gozen, the enemy Magneto, bubbles the Strange, so now Strange can jump up, and he doesn't have to worry about getting bopped anymore because he is CC immune, right? He's got that bubble on him. And so you know they're timing it correctly after what I did to them earlier. Wait, did we miss that? No, we didn't miss that. We definitely hit that. But so he bubbled, and I wasn't able to do that. So after this kind of happens, it's like a mental thing, right? So after this kind of happens, it's like now I'm thinking in my head like, man, maybe I have to start double jumping this. But double jumping doesn't always, like out of strange ult, doesn't always work. You just sometimes don't gain like enough distance. So you just gotta watch out for that. But it was really good play by both the tanks. You know, just good coordination. This is why Magneto. That's part of the reason why Magneto is just so damn good right now. I mean, one shot ult, he threatens healer ults. He has a bubble that can stop plays like that, stop disrupting plays like that. I mean, he is just, and his damage output is insane. He's just such an incredible tank right now. And he's a main tank too, right? Because he's got 2 shields. Here we're pulling the hell off the ledge like we talked about earlier. I guess she must have bird formed up there. Did we end up killing her? We should. Yeah, we ended up killing her. I mean, just a great pull by us. Like, a lot of the plays that we were making this game, besides ult plays, of course, we're just pulling plays, right? Pulling these guys off ledges whenever we get the chance. So she must have bird formed up there, and she didn't have bird, and then we just pulled her off. And then we actually just fragged both their DPS. Right here, this is an interesting play. So we just fragged both their DPS, right? We're not really being aggressive here, and I think this is something that we ended up talking about later on, but we're not really playing aggressive here, and we should be, right? So, like, this is like, okay, even when you just frag one player, if it's a 6v5, like, you know that you have a massive advantage in this game. Like, when you're down a single player in this game, especially a healer, but if you're down a single player in this game, there's just, like, a massive advantage, right? And so fragging 2 people, especially both their DPS, so now, like, their damage is just so minuscule compared to yours. We should just be hard pushing this and like hard stopping point. So I think Ferris is doing a decent job on Strange by like stopping point from moving, but I don't know why we're just like playing around this corner like they have some sort of advantage, because we have the advantage, you know? So it was a little strange of a play by us. We definitely should have got aggressive there, I think. Not overly aggressive, because we don't want to go into their spawn. Their spawn is back there, but aggressive enough to the point where it's like we're denying any space that they want to make, and we're creating more space for ourselves.
Forcing it back.
Here we know that Hell is up top, so you know we're just trying to like LOS this corner a little bit, play behind her shield. Both Luna's ult. This is a fine ult by us too, to just kind of counter their ult. I'm just playing outside of all this because I don't want anything to one-shot me.
Nice.
And we end up just winning this fight. So great ult by my Luna here. I think it was also a good Namor ult too, good counter Namor ult. And yeah, I mean, all around, we just ended up winning that fight, which is huge. And this is what we should be doing. So this is what we should have done earlier, right? This is what I mean, like creating the space, but not going too deep because their spawn room's right there. But now they have to kind of fight their way through us to get back to the convoy. And they should be able to fight their way through us unless we just hard dominate them. But that's also wasting time. It's all a time game, right, at this point. So huge pick by our Hela here. And again, that allows us to walk up, right? And they're respecting this. They're down 1 player because our Hela got a pick, and like they have to respect that. And we're just not letting this convoy move. In fact, we're moving this thing in the opposite direction. So this is really, really good by us. And again, not playing too far in either. Like sometimes things will just go too far and they're like, why am I not getting heals? You know, yada, yada, yada. Like, shut up, man. Like you're you know where you can see where you're at. You know why you're not getting healed right now. Great picks by my DPS. Again, we're just farming them right now. Fuck. Nice.
I rooted him. He's one.
Nice.
Hit that guy. He's got nothing.
So one thing that's important to note too is because Strange is up, right? Like you always got to watch out for these Strange ports. So that's one thing I always keep in the back of my head is like, okay, they have a Strange player. Even if they don't have a Strange player, sometimes they'll switch. So it's like, okay, are they going to port? Now I don't think they need to port yet. But like as the time winds down, they might try to make a port play, especially if pushing through main is not working out, right? And it's like, okay, let's switch it up. How are we going to switch it up? Let's port our team through and get on some flanks.
They're taking space.
You didn't bolt.
So that's their Luna ult. That's a really, really good trade. And then I end up dying to the Namor ult because you can't double jump out of that. Really good Namor ult by them. And they probably Luna boosted it too, which is partly why I died. But again, it cripples you, so I can't double jump out of that. So I'm not allowed to. So it was honestly really good. And right there, I was like, damn, man, I threw. But it was honestly just a really good Namor ult by them, and I just couldn't get out of it. I have my ult for this fight. Did they use we wasted so much time here, and we pushed them so far back that I didn't realize that we had like stopped it so far back that it's like, oh, like we have a lot of time to play with. Or we have a lot of room to play with, rather. Take that high ground.
Do they have those strange mag ults?
I got it.
Back up. Wait a sec. Guys, we want to explode out. Just wait.
No, we want to fight like right now before they get another ult. They just used everything.
Dash, can you look
should see if we can force something.
Oh, hold on.
Can we do something?
Yeah, I can look ult here up top. Here, I can
I'm
I'm gonna die.
All right.
come
Go
in.
on the back line.
Ulting. Here we get a really good pull onto him, jumping out of our ult because Magneto, he's going to try to one-shot us. Ends up killing Luna. If I had shield, I would be spam right-clicking her right there, by the way.
Where's the shield? Get the hell on cart. Get the hell on cart. Hell on cart.
Yeah, we're just pushing her off cart, right? We're forcing her bird. Like, we just forced her bird right there. Now she's dead.
They can't portal. They can't portal.
I died. I saw you guys.
I'm coming, thanks.
I shouldn't have died right there. That was... Man, Strange Burst is just like tough. When I say I shouldn't have died right there, I mean like maybe I should have played that a little bit differently. But yeah, we ended up winning the game. It was huge. And stopping him right there. So all around really good plays. We did make a lot of mistakes, especially going back over this. I, mentioned those mistakes that I didn't even notice in the game. So I'm glad I went back over this. But I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Really, really good game all around. I mean, it was just a high-level game, like a lot of really good players. And yeah, let me know if you guys, again, want this kind of format in the future, especially for like ranked games as well. And I hope you guys learned a lot and had a good time.